Friends, and welcome back. I'm Coley with Fables and Legends, and today's quest with food is we're going to go on a quest of the Nirn renowned recipes. So we're going to go over 2 recipes today. The ever famous Potage Magnifique, found in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and one of the food items that is found throughout all of the games is sweet rolls. So today we're going to follow actually 2 recipes, both found in the official Elder Scrolls book, followed by, if you did the advent calendar for Skyrim, the sweet roll card was also in there. So we're going to start off with processing the dough for the sweet rolls, and then we're going to go into some of the lore and how to figure out how to make the Potage Magnifique and start making that, and then finish off with the sweet rolls. So let me get book safe, screen fixed, and then we will jump all into this awesome adventure today of cooking. So with our sweet rolls, we need to start off with 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 cup of whole milk warmed, and then 2 tablespoons of honey. So I'm going to get my pan going here. We're going to warm up that butter, put some honey in, get some milk, and then what you want to do is just like whisk that until it's a the honey's melted all into that. So here's our 3 tablespoons of butter. Also, with it being so dry and arid from the winter here, I also added an extra tablespoon of milk to help with the flour, because sometimes the recipe gets too dry. So right now I just wanted to add an extra tablespoon of milk, so I didn't have to deal with the dry aridness of winter here. That all melted down. Once it gets a little more or less, I'm going to put the 2 tablespoons of honey in. Bring that heat down. Burp that honey, and come on. So get that going. What I'm going to do is kind of check the temp as we're going. So when we're going to put the yeast in, the yeast needs to be about 110 degrees so it activates, so you don't kill it off or you don't not activate it. That's nice and hot there. Cup of milk. We're just going to get this all to be one nice mixture. So into a bowl, this mixture is going to go, and yeah. while we're waiting for that to cool, one of the next ingredients is just a pinch of salt. And we need to get to about 110 degrees so that the yeast can activate and not die off. So you're going to be using 2 teaspoons of dry activated yeast. We're actually almost there. After that, we'll be adding 1 egg, followed by 2 cups of flour. Whoops, helped you. Hi. Okay, we're right there. I'm just going to give it a quick little stir just to make sure it's not just that one area. Yeah, mix it up for a second, it gains like 5 degrees in temperature. So the sweet rolls are basically found in every game, from Arena through Elder Scrolls 5. Even the famous line, let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll. So, if someone steals your sweet rolls, now you'll know how to make them. Got one more stir just to make sure that it Yep, it's still a little too hot. So then after we get this mixture all mixed up, we're going to pop them into our 5-inch bundt pans over here. Try to get even amounts of dough spread throughout. Then we're going to plastic wrap or cling wrap them, and then I'm going to put a towel over it just to keep all of the temperature consistent so it can rise. We're going to let it then rise for a half hour. Okay, we are right there now. So, two teaspoons of yeast, and then we're going to get that all whisked in there. And basically just make sure that all of the milk and honey has actually gotten into each yeast particle. So with that, 1 egg. And then we're going to sift in 2 cups of flour. And then it says to stir all of this together. And then you're going to stir till it's a nice, smooth dough. Now it looks like we got a nice smooth dough there. That extra tablespoon did help making it a much smoother dough and a little more pliable. So we're gonna get these going. So I took my 5-inch bunch tin pie cold cake thingies and going to put them on a pan so it's easier to put in and out of the stove, oven. There we go. Every one of those days, I'm still like rattled from yesterday. I can't believe that I screwed up that much technology yesterday. Basically, right now, I'm just trying to, like, maybe take 4 little scoops at a time. Maybe, I don't know, like a serving spoon size. And just delicately plopping it in there. And basically, I'm just trying to get it to make sure that the bottom's covered. And you're going to fill the bundt cake about halfway. And then you can even it out as you're going. It's going to be a lot. Now, if you were using like I'm using a silicone bundt pan. If you were using like a metal one, I would butter or oil the tin to make sure that it the cake will come out. Ooh. Okay, now we're just going to kind of make sure that we can take the rest of the dough and just kind of even it out. And it's okay if it's a little rough on top because in the game they were not evenly shapened. guess if you're like a perfectionist, you could get a scale out and weigh each one of these too. Just a little bit right there. Okay. So with that, they're about mostly full. Quickly wash my hand off. So that I pre-cut some plastic wrap, big foil, whatever you call it. Just slip that over there too. As it was zesty. So quickly get these wrapped. Just didn't realize how much messy this one was. This one, of course, it's going to get all twisted. That's what it does. So now that it's going to rise, so we're going to let it sit there and chill for a while. Try to keep it in a non-drafty space and keep it at room temperature. So after trying to figure out why most of my recipes fail, it's because I like keeping my house very cold. So room temperature actually means roughly 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So today I had to heat up the house. Also, it's really cold today too. Woke up this morning, it was negative 12 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, so with it being that cold, just kind of did that. So moving on now to the Potage and Le Magnifique. So we're going to read some things from the book because there's two recipes you can go from. You can go from the Gourmet, and then there's additives from the game that you can add into the soup, or from the cookbook. And then, well, then there's my way of doing things. So we will read from Uncommon Taste. Congratulations! By opening this volume, you have taken the first step of a truly epic journey. A voyage through the vast landscape of Breton food and its myriads of joys and wonders. You will explore scents, flavors, and textures so exquisite they seem impossible. But they are more than possible. Indeed, by following a carefully selected recipes presented in this cookbook, you will prepare extraordinary dishes with such ordinary ease. Those around you will actually suspect sorcery. But the only magic is that which exists in your own heart. The passions you possess for creating deliciousness, amazing food that can be prepared easily and enjoyed endlessly. Start here, and someday you too can be a gourmet. Then there's a couple recipes there, but then we'll skip to the Potage Le Magnifique. The ingredients are 4 cups of chicken broth, 4 cups of beef broth, 2.5 ounces of butter, a wooden flagon of flour, 1 cup dried carrots, and 1/2 cup of diced onions. So after reading that ratio there, something's a little off because a wooden flagon of flour is like a pint of flour. So basically it seemed like he was trying to make like a soup cake. So then you stoke the flames in your open pit fire and achieve a low heat. Combine all ingredients into a large pot, stir vigorously, and once hot, pour the earthen soup bowls immediately. Behold, the gourmet signature dish, the Potage de Magnifique. But wait, I know what you're wondering. That's it? Is that all there is to it? What is the secret of the gourmet? Do you really expect me to give away the secret to my most popular dish? Well, guess what? I will, for that secret, my friends, is you. That's right, the Potage de Magnifique is delicious and extraordinary. Using these simple ingredients listed, you will create a potage that is hearty and delicious. But in order to make the Potage de Magnifique truly magnificent, it takes the imagination of a truly inspired chef. Do you have the gift? I have served bowls of the Potage de Magnifique that have caused grown men to weep with joy. Can you guess what I added? Can you create magic? So, that's what the gourmet says about this dish. In the game, however, when you're presented with making the dish for the Dark Brotherhood quest, you have a choice of varieties of ingredients that you can add into the soup. So you'll be prompted to add carrots or a sweet roll. I'm not putting those in the soup. It's not going to happen. A pinch of frost salt, a splash of meat, some vampire dust, Taurus eggs, 1 near root, a giant toe, a sprig or 2 of thistles, some diced horker meat, a septum, tomatoes, and yarn root. Yeah, not adding that either because I don't want to kill my friends. So we have that. But furthermore now, from the official cookbook, it's a quarter cup of salted butter, a half cup of diced onion, 1 or 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1 cup of diced and peeled medium medium carrots. Can't read half the time. A half cup of all-purpose flour. That makes more sense. 2 cups of chicken broth and 2 cups of beef broth, and then some salt and pepper. So with the 2 recipes given to me, I like the base on one and I like the volume of liquid on the other, so we're gonna kind of combine both and then add some of our secret ingredients. So I should set a timer because I wasn't quite paying attention to the clock for how long that has to rise for. Let's set that timer. Okay, so now in our soup pot, I'm going to get distracted and then forget about it. We add a quarter cup of butter, and then we're going to add a cup of diced onion, 2 cloves of garlic minced, and a cup of diced carrots. Just kind of like the base recipe for both sets. So let's get that butter going. Really, today you don't want to play along today, do you? Stove got stage fright today. So it does that occasionally. It just doesn't want to play along. And then I get angry about that. And then it was because like a parsley flake got in there or something. It's sensitive like that. So while that's melting, we have got 1 onion, garlic, and it says 1 or 2. I feel like 4. That's where the feelings are at today. And then let me go get the carrots out of the fridge. And also one of the secret ingredients we're going to be adding. We're also going to be adding 4 medium potatoes. Yes, I know I got 5 on the plate, but 2 seem small. So that's where we're at there. So let's look how you're going. Also right away, because it's going to be a really hearty soup, I'm going to take coarse black pepper right away and put it in with the butter. When it's that kind of pepper, I like breaking it down and softening up over time instead of just using some fresh cracked. So, good today there. And another onion, part of the onion. Then it says 1 to 2 cloves of garlic minced. I'm going to do 4 cloves of garlic pressed. I got about 20 more minutes on those sweet rolls. At the about 15-minute marker, I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Last one. So now with that, we're going to get these carrots all chopped up here. And you need about 1 cup of diced carrots. So it's about 3 large carrots, so I've got several smaller ones. So we're just going to get those all cut up. But before I finish these, we are going to give this a quick little stir and cook it for about 2 minutes. And then we'll add those carrots in. So I already had these carrots pre-peeled. That on a little higher. Also, I'm just trying to keep a consistent thickness. It doesn't really matter about the size because we're actually going to blend all of this together. So if you don't have an immersion blender, you can scoop up portions of this at a time into a blender and blend it that way. Those carrots in, and then we will preheat the oven. I'm going to work on getting these potatoes diced up as well. Once these have a good minute or so to cook off, we'll be adding that cup of flour in, and then we'll be adding 4 cups of chicken broth and 4 cups of beef broth in. Give that a stir here in a second. So basically, once I finish off these potatoes, I'm going to put that flour in, get that all stirred up so there's no lumps. You guys can see everything all right. And here we're basically making a very simplistic mirepoix. It's just missing celery for that. So. There we go. It's nice and translucent. It smells really, really good. So yeah. So we've got our half cup of flour here. Make sure I grab the half cup of flour, not the half cup of powdered sugar. That would be the worst soup ever. And basically we're just going to stir it until the flour's all one with the mixture. Just a little bit. Then it's time to add our stock. So I'm going to start with chicken broth. You can use vegetable broth if you want. I use chicken bone broth and beef. Chicken bone broth and beef bone broth. Oh my gosh. I'll add some of that in there. I tend to like always adding a little at a time just to make sure that everything stays thick. So there's our 4 cups of chicken broth in there. And then we're going to add our 4 cups of beef broth. And in this case, once again, I use bone broth. So. Get that all mixed up. And then now we're going to put the potatoes in and get all this cooking for roughly 10 to 15 minutes, or at least until the potatoes and the carrots are softened. Also at this point, I'm also going to add a cup of milk. It's not as thin as I want it, and I do want it a little more creamier, so I'm going to add a cup of milk with that. So. So basically we're going to bring this to a boil and then turn it down a little bit and then let it cook for 10-15 minutes till it's softened. Then we're going to take the immersion blender, blend it, and then add my last secret ingredient. Kind of excited about that one for you guys. So let me get this cleaned up. Once we get the sweet rolls in the oven, actually I'm going to bring it back over here. So in my opinion, they stay a little warmer, away from flames. They stay a little more warm, and we'll get this cleaned up. Got about 7-ish minutes left on the sweet rolls here. Trying to keep them nice and warm. On that, to see if they rose all the way. If they don't rise, I had a hit or miss on one, and I realized that I used some really old yeast thing, and I'm just gonna, thank you. We're at temperature, but we still gotta wait. I was like, oh, it'll be fine, and it wasn't fine. So it turns into, if you don't get it to rise, it literally turns into like a very thick, heavy cake. Instead of being like light and fluffy, it's just thick cake. So it was delicious still, but it didn't end up being the way I wanted it. So we'll get this cleaned up. Once we get the sweet rolls in the oven, we'll see where we're at on the potatoes, but the soup, and at the same time, we're also going to be making the icing for the sweet rolls. So let's get this cleaned up. Water break, and then we will start working on the icing. So the icing is 2 tablespoons of softened cream cheese, 1 tablespoon of butter softened, a ½ cup of powdered sugar, and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Normally I wouldn't use powdered sugar in my recipes because it's just too sweet, too sugary, but I figured, let's follow the recipes for once before I start, changing everything. So, in a bowl, we're going to have our softened cream cheese. Our tablespoon of softened butter. I'm going to get the 2 tablespoons of heavy cream out now. And then I'll slowly whisk in the powdered sugar. Just try to keep an eye on time, so I don't want to be in the middle of a process while creating a process. Let's see how it's softened. It is softened, just. By the time I get this mixture all together, it'll be time to look at the sweet rolls. should have got my mortar and pestle out. That would have been a waste of that. Yeah, finally kind of sort of getting somewhere. So then if the icing ends up being a little too thin, you can add more powdered sugar, but then if it ends up being too thick, you can add some more heavy cream. It's a very delicate balance, and you only add a little at a time. So, almost there. And almost to look at our sweet rolls too. There we go. That's a nice mixture right there. That there for a minute. First reveal. Oh, they rose. There are some little things in life that make me happy, and when dough rises, it's one of those things that makes me so happy. So, now that the dough rose to where it needs to be at, I'm going to quickly remove the cling wrap. It smells so good. And we're going to get those sweet rolls into the oven. Nicely up there. Into the oven we go. And they're going to go in for 15 minutes or on at least 15 minutes. And then we're going to do the toothpick test. And as long as it comes out clean, it is good. So that's still figuring out ways decisions. It's just starting to boil. I would rather have a slightly thinner dough, or not thinner dough, thinner icing. And now that I don't need it 900 degrees in my house, I'm going to quickly turn down the temperature between the oven going and my furnace going. It's hot. So, yay! So I'm supposed to drizzle this on, and if you can't see, it is thick. So I'm just going to do just a little bit more heavy cream. Like a teaspoon at a time. That's a lot better. know how I want to drizzle it on. That's the issue where I'm at. There we go. So while that's chilling over there, everything gets put away. So then we're going to check up on this. If the potatoes are softened, we're going to then immersion blend that whole mixture there. And then we will be adding our super secret ingredient. So after also this kind of gets all cooked out and cooked off, you would let it just to do this. Then you'd let it cook for another 10 minutes and serve. So, but my next ingredient needs about 10 minutes. So as soon as I can get that blended down, I'll be adding the other ingredient and letting it cook for 10 minutes. Yeah, potatoes are still, we don't want to get to a boil. We're just scraping you off the bottom. So, we are caught up on that. So basically by the time those are done, the sweet rolls will come out. We'll be letting them sit in the sweet rolls will sit in their pan for about 5 minutes afterwards. We will then put them on a cooling rack, and then we will be drizzling the icing all over that. So I'm really hoping that the sweet rolls turn out amazingly. So my question is, if any of you have actually played the Dark Brotherhood questline, where you've got to make this soup, I'm sorry, the game's 11 years old, so at this point, I'm not going to give you all the spoilers on what you're doing with that, but when you have to make this soup, what ingredients do you pick? Do you pick the normal ingredients, the strange ingredients, or do you remain silent? Because if you pick the normal ingredients, are you picking the carrots, the splash of mead, the Nirn root, and the diced horker meat? Do you go the strange route just to, watch the world burn? Do you add the sweet roll? Do you add the vampire dust, the giant's toe, and the septum? Or do you remain silent and let your sous chef make all the decisions? Where it's a pinch of frost salts and charis eggs, a sprig or two of thistle, and then the tomatoes. So it'll be kind of fun to see which way your chefness goes. Also, do you use the yarn route to complete your quest, or do you find other fun ways to complete your Dark Brotherhood target? So, okay. I hate when we've got this like 10-minute filler where, we could be talking about stuff, or, have some filler. Ooh, my neck popped. So yeah, got I think that the potatoes are going to be done roughly the same time the sweet rolls are going to be done, so make sure that's on high heat. guess I can add the salt in now too, so then I can adjust it later as well. So let's get some salt in there. So we started off with a teaspoon of salt. So yeah, got nothing really to clean up. What I can do is get the rack ready to go and put some paper down so I don't make a big mess on my everywheres. So that's something we can do. Let's find my cooling rack. And get some. Excellent. A perfect reason that just didn't finish what I needed. Oh, perfect. Just gotta really make sure we stay center. Oh yeah, that's nice and icy. So yeah, then in a couple minutes I will introduce to you my secret ingredient to make the potage de Magnifique. So what would your secret ingredient be? Immersion blender out and put in. We go a long way so I don't disrupt things. Of course, it's nice to go over. 2 extra seconds and leave a trail. So yeah, I don't know, it depends on what mood I am in. Like sometimes I just want to get through the quest, so I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. I did a Dark Brotherhood run where no matter what, I chose to remain silent, because I was in a mood with Astrid. So I just didn't want to deal with her crap, so I was like, I'm not doing anything, I'm not talking this whole run. And then I think maybe the first time I played, I picked all the weird stuff. Because I was like, okay, you know what? Let's put a sweet roll in there and let's see if I fail the quest, right? I'm really concerned about that security. Why would you... Oh my gosh, that actually... Now that you think about it, going, she's read the Gourmet's book. Gianna, whatever her name is. She's the chef in Solitude. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm a fan, I've read your book. And I've already prepped the base of the potage. Okay, so she's got some chef skills. And yes, you did walk in with a letter saying, "Hey, I'm the Gourmet." At what point wouldn't you question when the first ingredient, they say, "What's your secret ingredient?" and you say a sweet roll? Wouldn't you be like, "Yeah, let me go to the baker and go get one. Hey, guards, you know, vampire dust. Okay, fine. It's a reagent. Same thing with a giant's toe. The whole way you discover ingredients is either, you read recipes and see what they do, or you eat them. Sometimes don't put too much thought in the games you're playing. A septum, we put coins go in food sometimes. But a sweet roll, that's the one that just put way too much thought in that now. So we got 3 more minutes on the sweet roll, so I'm gonna go grab a toothpick. So when that's ready, we can. Like I said, one day I should be able to stand on camera the whole time because I'll be prepared. It's not looking like that's happening anytime soon. So, I keep doing my water breaks, and I always forget to do. About a minute and a half left on the sweet rolls. Woohoo, 1 more minute. So we'll get the sweet rolls out of the oven, let them sit there for 5 minutes. We'll check the Potage and see how that's all going there. Minutes. So excited about this. Right. Actually might need a minute more. Or not. It's a little sticky. So, should be good in 1 more minute. Didn't need much more, it just didn't come out the way I wanted it to. But they're so fluffy. How does Agnes say that in Despicable Me? It's so fluffy I could die. Just so I don't second guess myself. Get another toothpick. It looks so good. Pick it up. They are so fluffy. Cut that off. So I'm going to lift the... So. They're so fluffy. They're like above the actual bundt pan. So that's where you want them. They're going to sit here for 5 minutes or so while they're just chilling. Now let's go check that soup. I'm going to give a couple more minutes on the potatoes. They're soft, but they're not quite where I like them at. I don't like fighting the immersion blender. So, I can stir though. Do not drip Potage Magnifique all over the sweet roll, or we will be creating that recipe. So yeah. Usually when you make a soup though, when you're using a normal chicken broth or beef broth or vegetable broth, it doesn't have this brown color to it. When you use a beef broth, it will always have a tan undertone to it. So just to let you know, if you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Well, that's what's going on. So yeah, a couple more minutes on that, and then we will add our secret ingredient there. So yeah, getting really excited to get those sweet rolls out and show you guys and taste test them all. So, nope, I want to wait for my secret ingredient. Like, I want to get it out to show you guys, but then, you know. Let's see if the potage tastes right. The potato, let's see if the potato's soft enough. Actually, I don't want to mix this till I get the sweet roll safe. Yes, we want the sweet roll far, far away from the blending. I could just eat the potatoes. Oh my goodness. Hot! Peppery. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Pepper hit my uvula. Kind of ruins your day when that happens. So, 1-ish more minute for those to chill. Once we get them over here, try to get it all nice and AC'd up. And for immersion blend things, yeah. Okay. I'm going to loosen the bundt cake pan a little bit. Doesn't go out right away. We found out just kind of pushing the silicone. That looks amazing. Doesn't that look amazing? That piece of pepper's still there. Sorry about that, guys. Oops, that. Well, we have a fail. I forced it. I'm going to let you sit then for a second. We're going to get this immersion blender going on the Potage. So. Sorry about the loudness. Okay, before I get all excited, just give it a once through to make sure. So this is a super creamy potage. Now, let's get this cleaned up and get the final ingredient in. So my final ingredient to make this super special, super hearty, super delicious is I'm going to be adding chicken tortellinis and a spinach tortellini into this. So first of all, you don't know what tortellini you're going to get when you eat it, and then it makes it heartier and it stretches the meal out and makes it way more delicious. So we're adding about 1.5 pounds of tortellini straight into the soup. And then They're going to cook for about 8 minutes. And that's why I wanted the thinner broth in there. So the tortellinis is going to just thicken this whole thing up. And so now the carrots have turned it also into like a orange dreamsicle kind of color. How are we doing here? Do you want to join us? So now, it's time for the icing. I'm just gonna probably get a spoon. And then the heat of the sweet roll should actually help kind of sort of melt this down. Oops. A little more on that. Starting to look like the real thing. There we go. Starting to look like the real thing. So there we go there. That away. So we're gonna sweet roll. I'm gonna get the broken one plated because that's the one I'm gonna sample. And then in a couple minutes, the soup will be ready to eat. And then we will taste test it all and see how we're doing. I'm gonna quickly just see if it's the right salt pepper combo for the broth. It's actually really good the way it is. So I just have a mess today. That's where we're at. Okay. Let me get a plate for you. If I'm good, I'll be able to get this slid underneath this and then have the sweet rolls moved out of the way. About 2 more minutes on the soup. .30 more seconds, so getting really excited there. We're going to be finishing this up in just a handful of more seconds. Get it bold, show it off to you guys, and then we'll taste test it. Okay, so there we go. Fables and Legends Potage Magnifique. And our broken sweet roll. As long as it tastes delicious, it doesn't matter if it's broken or not, right guys? Switch screen. There we go. Took an extra minute. Hopefully. So, let's do dinner first, right? So, we've got a really hot soup here. Ooh, look at that. It's hot. Super hot. Very delicious. It's gonna be. This is a chicken one. I'm not gonna be thrilled though. I have the spinach one, but. It is so creamy. The carrots add a sweetness to it. I like the fact that I put the potato and milk in it, because then it just makes it really, really creamy. That one looks like a spinach one. The chicken adds its own chickeny heartiness to it. And if this is a spinach one, it'll probably add a very then the cheese and the tortellinis add a saltiness to it. I like the spinach better, so it's really, really good. Really earthy, really hearty, really warm. Especially when it's like 7 or something degrees outside. It's just really... temperature's hot on that one. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, especially me. So, one is... let's just save that piece there for a second. Just want to show you how big these are. Can't give you anything, but they're huge. So I'll come back to you guys in a moment. My soul just left my body. So, it's just everyone should try actually eating the sweet roll plain, because the honey comes through on this like insanely. The icing is really, really sweet, but I was expecting like a sugar rush or just something so sweet it would hurt. If you're not used to eating sugar, it probably would. But the cream cheese actually levels it out. I'm probably just going to make the sweet roll my dinner. All I can really taste is the honey, though. It's so delicious. And it's fluffy. It, like a croissant fluffiness, without the buttery. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so fluffy. Oh my gosh, guys. So I think we finished this quest really, really well. I think we won this quest for once. So I hope you guys can get a chance to try these recipes through the official cookbook. Try your luck with the recipe from the Gourmet. And I hope you guys are enjoying this journey with us, and I hope you guys are having a great time on our adventures. And don't forget to stay legendary, guys. Bye!